Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports.
Hey, it's Tito. Jeff Thidoff here with you. Welcome to the Buckeye Blitz on FanStream Sports, powered by DSP Media. I am the aforementioned Jeff Thidoff. You can follow me on Twitter at @ThatHappens. And we've got lots to get into today. Ohio State's their wide receiver room. Another member has left in the transfer portal. Kayla Brown. He was from the 2020 recruiting class. He is a second-year wide receiver. He's a second-year wide receiver that also is leaving. Kayla Brown left just recently. But look, Ohio State's got 30 receivers over on the roster. So inevitably guys are going to leave. That's going to happen when you're a wide receiver university like Ohio State has proven again that they are. And it's going to be the 2024 NFL draft. Marvin Harrison, Emeka Egbuka, they're going to go also in the draft next year in the first round, I have to believe. So anyway, he is one of the two guys that have left. Caleb Burton and Connor both left now. Those are the two that are gone. And Brown was the number 79 player, number 13 wide receiver overall. And it's just there's too many bodies in there. Ohio State keeps getting better. You're going to have guys. This is what is going to happen with Ohio and specifically receivers. You're going to see too many guys get in there. And after a year, if you don't play or don't play much and you see more good 5-star guys coming in, you're going to see the writing on the wall and go elsewhere. It's perfectly fine, understandable. It's going to happen probably in the quarter point two. Surprise hasn't happened more often in the running back room with how loaded the running back room is for Ohio State. But we talked to the added Lorenzo Styles Jr. already in the transfer portal. The Pickerington native has got 2 years of eligibility left and is heading over there to it's a back for Ohio State. So another thing I want to this first round of the NFL draft, ratings were up 13% across the board. They were up overall for all three days, all 7 rounds. Round 1 on Thursday, 2 and 3 Friday, 4 through 7 on Saturday. And up 13% in that first round. And I'm telling you, quarterbacks and Ohio State, that's what did it. First of all, because when it comes to the quarterbacks going high in the draft, you weren't sure. Will Levis obviously dropped down to the second round. But, where they were going to go, there was news about C.J. Stroud because of this ridiculous score. Or it might go defense that second. It ended up going defense with the third. They traded, made a couple of moves there to get 2 and 3. But nonetheless, if you look at television rating time, there's a big time when they show college football ratings for not just Ohio State games, but just BCS games. God, that's old. CFP games, which for CFP games. When you see ratings for NFL playoff games, things like that. The city of Columbus in the state of Ohio are always so high up on as far as the markets when they show what the ratings are going to be. This market in Columbus and in the state of Ohio is so football crazed. So whenever there's the most, probably, I know Jalen Carter had the off the field incident that happened with him that led to him to a little bit. That happened. That came out during the news of that came out during the combine. But when it got leading up to the draft, all the news was about C.J. Stroud and when you have the most interesting, most talked about high draft pick, where he might go in the draft, he might drop he was at one point they thought he'd go number 1. Then it was no, he's going to go number 2. Then Peter King comes out and says no, he might drop out of the top 7. When you have an Ohio State player like that, an Ohio State quarterback like that, who is that has so much across the board on where he's going to end up, it's going to mean high ratings for the draft. So 30% increase, it looks like, over last year for the first round of the NFL draft, which is great. They were up across the board, up Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all 3 of them, they were up. So that happened. Some other news. Illinois Chancellor Robert J. Jones, he was talking to The Athletic. He's also, by the way, the chair of the Big Ten's Council of Presidents and Chancellors. And he was asked about expansion possibly up to 16 teams. They'll become a 16-school league when USC and UCLA joined in just about a year. And he just basically said, that, look, right now we're working on just trying to integrate USC and UCLA and trying to figure out how we're going to handle the travel part of things. And, because it's one thing for football where you come in, you play your game, you go home. That's fine. It's one thing for, a team like Ohio State or Michigan to go out west to play a game, come home. You can manage all that. But when you have schools that play multiple games in the market and non-revenue sports, sometimes you want to be more creative about it and try to get schedules set up. So maybe when you play Ohio State in baseball, you also stick around for another week and maybe you play Maryland in baseball or however you're going to do it, but so there's some certain moving parts to that they're trying to figure out on how to do it. So basically what Jones told The Athletic was we're trying to integrate them, figure out the best way to handle all this. We're not worried about moving up yet as far as adding more teams. Understand this, though. I know that's what he said. I will tell you the Big Ten is going to add more teams at some point. It's going to happen. It's inevitable that it has. I think the Big Ten eventually will be a 20-school league. I think you'll end up having 3 20-team conferences, 6 10-team divisions making up those 20 conferences, which is stupid to me because that's what we used to have. Was we could have had 6 10-team conferences already, but now everything gets blended. There'll be 3 conference commissioners, and I think the ACC, Big 12, and Pac-12 will somehow form together one conference, and then the offshoots will go various places elsewhere. Notre Dame obviously still the big fish out there, but I think eventually we're going to have 3 20-team mega conferences, and we'll see how that all plays out. But I think that's where we're headed. I guess I could see 4 16-team things if that happened, but geography's out the window now. The Midwest call the Big Ten is out the window since they've got Maryland, Rutgers, and they poached Nebraska. They got Penn State, and then they're out west now with USC and UCLA. The traditional thing is gone, and as much as older college football or college sports fans want to enjoy that, when the Big Ten was just 10 schools, among Ohio and Michigan and Indiana, and Illinois, when it was just those schools involved in it. That was at Minnesota. That was a different world. It's not that way anymore. And you're going to see that where geography, tradition, culture means nothing. All they're looking at is eyeballs and being able to generate revenue through the media rights. Other news, Jaden Reed for Michigan State, when he was hurt earlier this year in Washington, they needed somebody to fill that void. And Keon Coleman was that guy for Michigan State. He was 9 for 116, 2 touchdowns receiving in a game the Spartans ended up losing to. Now, Coleman has entered the transfer portal. Reed's already gone to the NFL. Keon Coleman entered the transfer portal, and it looks like it was about a week and a half ago when he made that known. But at the same time, then, after that, Peyton Thorne, the quarterback, returning starting quarterback, 2-year starting quarterback for Michigan State, also said he was entering the transfer portal. Those are a couple of big losses for Michigan State. Now, Coleman might stay. It sounds like, from what I've been able to research, is that Coleman might stick around. I don't think he wanted to play with Thorne again. There was a battle for the quarterback competition still going on at Michigan State. Looks like Thorne is not, like the odd man out. When he was his first year being a full-time starter was back in 2021. He had a great year. Kenneth Walker was there, though. Remember, Kenneth Walker, the running back, who's now at Seattle, had a fantastic year. Anyway, Thorne threw for over 3,200 yards that year, 27 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Last year without Walker, Thorne was not nearly as good. So looks like he's on the way around, which would be big for Michigan State because they already have enough holes to fill, and they are coming off, again, a very disappointing 7. 24/7 Sports, sticking with the college football theme with the Big Ten. 24/7 Sports went out and predicted the records for every Big Ten team. And they didn't say specifically who the losses and wins would be against. But based on what you know about the way they came out with it, they've had Ohio State all 11-1, all 8-1 in the conference, meaning that somehow they're going to think you're going to go 1-1 against each other, probably. That's how it looks like they're going to do it. But we've got Ohio State, Michigan, all projected in the conference. That's in the Big Ten East, followed by Maryland, 7-5 overall, 4 in the conference. Michigan State, 6-6 overall, 4-5 in the conference. conference. Indiana 3-9, 1-8. Rutgers 4-8, 1-8. So they somehow have projected it. They didn't go into details about how they thought the losses would occur for Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. That they didn't prognosticate enough out to see who would be playing in the Big Ten championship on the Big Ten East side. Over in the West, we're clear. They got Wisconsin going 10-2 overall, 7-2 in the Big Ten. I could see that. Iowa 9-3, 6-3. Minnesota 8-4 overall, 6-3 in the conference. Nebraska 7-5-4. That would be a huge win for Matt Rule if he gets Nebraska to 7 wins this year. That would automatically justify already the hiring of him and the firing of Scott Frost. Illinois 5-7, 3-6. Purdue 4-8, 2-7. Northwestern 2-10, 0-9. So 24/7 Sports is projecting that it's going to be either Ohio State, Penn State, or Michigan against Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship game, and that's how I see it as well. In case Wisconsin's just going to be so damn good this year. I love the Luke Fickell hire. I hate to be the former Buckeye. The hirings that were made when you got him going there and you've got Matt Rule to Nebraska, two very, very good hires in the Big Ten that they were able to get those guys in the Big Ten West. And then it's only going to get better in 2024 when you got USC coming in with Lincoln Riley and UCLA, at least as it stands now, with Chip Kelly. The Big Ten coaching numbers, like look at the quality of coaching. You got Ryan Day, you've got Harbaugh, you've got Franklin, you've got obviously Fickell now. Rule, throw Riley and Chip Kelly into that. I mean, it really is a stacked, loaded conference as far as coaching talent goes. Get you out of here on this one. The ESPN released the early top 25 for women's hoops coming up this season. LSU, defending champ, they've got them at number 1. Totally get it. They only got better. They're LSU's doing really good again this year. UConn second, and look, that's all going to be, if Paige Buchers can stay healthy, that's huge for UConn. They've got Iowa 3, Caitlin Clark, the best women's college basketball player I've seen in a long time, at number 3. UCLA at number 4. Utah State checks in at 6. Look, the Buckeyes getting Celeste Taylor is such a big add for this team. Adding her onto that defensive front, you have J.C. Sheldon for a full year. She was very, she didn't play much at all during the regular season last year. Getting her for a full season, it's a huge deal for this team. Adding Celeste Taylor to that. Indiana, another Big Ten team, 7. So that tells you right now that the Big Ten with 3 in the top 7, ESPN projects to be stacked. Not to mention Maryland's number 17, Nebraska's number 25. 5 Big Ten teams in the top 25 in the very early rankings. Also, USC, future Big Ten team, 18. UCLA and USC would make that technically 17, but we're early on that. Nonetheless, can't just see what Kevin Blah does this year. I'm so excited to watch. He's done a fantastic job with Ohio State in his 10 years he's been here. So that's it, Buckeye Blitz. Thanks for tuning in right here on Fan Stream Sport, powered by DSP Media. And follow me on Twitter at FitHappens. Would love to hear from you. I'm Jeff Thidoff. Tito, they call me, right here on Fan Stream Sports. This has been the Buckeyes Daily Blitz.